was driving to Vegas recently, and I saw a billboard. Right on the interstate. It said, it's Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A billboard. It said, honk if you love chicken. Honk. Really? Is that the best idea, driving 85 miles an hour, just honk for no visible reason?
No, I don't think that's a good reason.
Not a good idea. No, not at all.
Aw. It was so nice to see a comedy stage there. Flip Schultz obviously coming to the Bay Area, Side Splitters. Super excited to welcome you to the show this morning. And I know you are super excited to get back on stage.
I am beyond excited, Carly, to get back on stage, especially at Side Splitters. It's one of my favorite clubs literally in the world. And the fact that after 6 months of doing either Zoom shows or shows at drive-in, outdoor drive-in shows, it's nice to be returning to an indoor club and just hitting that stage again. I'm just beyond excited.
I think for a comedian, one of the ways to measure success, and maybe I am way off the board here, but the longevity that you're able to do it and continuing to book shows. And I think that's your case, Flip. Almost over 25 years you've been doing this now. What has been your key to shows to keep it going for so long? Because I'm assuming the jokes have had to change as the generations change and as you grow as a comedian and a person.
Yeah, no, definitely. The key for me is just constant perseverance. I've been, since I was 8 years old, all I ever wanted to be was a comedian. So I've been kind of laser focused on that. And since my first open mic when I was 18, that's all I've really been concentrating on. So it's perseverance, it's finding new stages, it's trying to reach new goals. Like for about past 20 years, I was living in Los Angeles and I got to do some amazing things out there. And the great thing too about not just being a comedian, but being a person who is, I guess, very in tune with his sense of artistry, I've been able to evolve with the time, with what happens in my own personal life, with what's happening out in the world. Comedically, my writing evolves with that, because I know a lot of comedians that just kind of find their hour and never really write on top of that, and they become a little stagnant. And so I think as a comedian, you have to keep challenging yourself and keep, like I said, elevating your writing.
Well, speaking of times and challenges, 2020, I feel like has been served up on a silver platter for comedians.
Has something been happening in 2020?
I know, right?
Boring year.
Very boring.
So what has kind of struck you? I mean, are we going to see a little bit of that in your comedy shows in the next couple of nights?
I'll be honest. I have a few jokes regarding what's been happening, but I haven't written much about it, only because I don't know how this sounds, but I think people, when they go to a comedy club, they want escapism.
Yeah.
They don't want to be reminded of what's going on, and because we're all aware of what's going on. And again, I found a couple of ways to kind of poke fun at it, but I don't want to dwell too much on it. I just want to, give the audience and myself an hour of just, let's not think about that. Let's just be fun, be silly, talk about these other things that we could all still relate to without reminding us what's happening out there. To me, a comedy club is a kind of a little reality bubble for a little while. Other comedians, I'm sure, can do it and are brilliant at it. For me, I just like to have a little force field from the stuff that are bothering us.
Well, Flip, some of our ways to escape have been movies. And if you live in my house, my husband quotes 80s movies. So I loved when I went to your website. Not only do I see comedian, I see 80s movie enthusiast. What are some of your favorite? Do you quote them? And can you translate some of my husband's, please?
Some of my favorite 80s movies?
Yeah. What gives you that title? Because that's a pretty hefty title. There's a lot of genres in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm a product of the 80s, so I would watch HBO nonstop and take in all these little obscure 80s movies, like Just One of the Guys and Super Fuzz, Revenge of the Nerds. But then I also love anything by the Zucker brothers, so Airplane and The Naked Gun. Wow.
We get a lot of Back to the Future references in this.
Oh, God, yeah, of course.
I knew you had to appreciate that.
Yes. Like, great Scott, Marty, I made a time machine out of a DeLorean.
Don't go to 2020.
Perfect. Not this year.
So good to see you.
Yeah.
Such a treat. Come back. We're just so happy that Side Splitters is back open. Of course, socially distanced. I know there's fewer tickets
Yes.
this
Yes,
time
thanks.
around, but they're trying their hardest to keep everybody safe and keep everybody laughing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Side Splitters is doing an amazing job. I think they found that perfect middle ground to where we'll be able to do comedy like the old days, but still make sure to follow all the guidelines, all the social
Good.
distancing, all the PPEs, excuse me. And like I said, just please come on out to the club this week. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun escapism. And I am thrilled, again, to be back in Tampa at Side Splitters. SidesplittersComedy.com for all the tickets.
All right. Well, come back anytime.
Yep, nice to
I
meet you.
will. Thank you so much for having me.
Take
And
care.
please tell your husband we're going to quote some 80s movies.
I don't know if I would encourage it though, Flip.